Hey guys, welcome. It's Thursday, right? It's the 20th, getting close to the end of the month. We're 1 month away from officially being winter. It's definitely starting to feel like it. Not that we might not have a few more warm days left in the year, at least here in the mid Atlantic. It's been known to get to the 60s and 70s in December. A few times it actually close to 80 before. Unusual, but it happens. We get days in the 60s in January and February as well. And then often that happens and we get a horrible March. Hey, Ellie. Mustafa, my friend, how are you? Hey, Dolly. Thank you for that message. I appreciate it. Dolly, I appreciate all of your support. More than that, I appreciate the message that you consistently put out. Always. I think about that often as an inspiration, Dolly. So, to blow my own horn for a second, I was on the uh, Institute for Advanced Astonishment. It's a podcast from my friend James Plath, and it's a pretty big podcast. Uh, it has a YouTube presence, but it is on all the like podcast platforms out there. And I'm good, Ellie. It's good to see you too, Mustafa. And I was able to put out the message. It's not my message. Um, the message is universal. The message is kindness and forgiveness. Of course, we talk about a different kind of forgiveness. I'm talking about a forgiveness that is presented through A Course in Miracles, and it is about peace of mind. It's about recognizing the Christ within another so that we can recognize the Christ within ourselves. That's the message. Um, hey, Lee. It's the message of what the Course calls the Holy Spirit, or we could call the message of the Tao, our right mind. Ellie says, I'm glad you're doing okay. Thank you, my friend. And what I loved about being on that podcast was it allowed me to keep coming on point. We would speculate about some things, and then I would able to come back to it's fun to speculate, but the actuality is here in the thick of it, in the muck, back to back with you guys, shoulder to shoulder with you guys, and forgiving. I see that on some social media groups, uh, debates and arguments of what something is for, or if the course is this type of practice, is it a non duality practice or not a non duality practice? And ultimately, my thoughts, my experiences, as limited as they are compared to some great realized people, is yes. Hey, Ashitosh, my friend. It is non duality in the ultimate sense. Some of the great teachers, Ken Wapnick, Gary Renard, all teach courses that what they call pure non-dualism, non-dualism. However, for me, because I'm not that smart, what I do is I just keep coming back. Our friend Dov Frischman, who was on 2 weeks ago, 2 Mondays ago. Hey, Kat, kept saying his big lesson, the lesson that of all the lessons in the Course of Miracles that he kept returning to after almost 50 years was, I don't know what anything is for. So in debates about like the body, in debates about non-duality, I come back to, I don't know what anything's for. What I do know is, hey, Maddie, how are you? Maddie, are you shoveling roads yet? It says, Uncle Yogi, you're an amazing person. I'm okay. I'm okay, Ali, but thank you. Everyone's saying Ashutosh as far as my exam, and it's 23:40 right now. What time is the exam tomorrow? Are you up because of anxiety? Do you want to do some breath work? I says, I need snow, so we have no school. Are they calling for snow for you, Ellie? So I can revise. So ultimately, we don't know what anything is for, but we like to surmise and we like to get caught up in the semantics of things. Thank you, Michael. You get 2 joules for Michael. Much appreciated. Maddie says, I'm good. I've been out every evening and early this morning, plus my normal work. Just setting out Shirley gritting again. Yeah. So gritting is putting salt down, Maddie. Ashita says, I'm in India. Michael says, morning, Yogi. Morning, Michael. He says, breath work time. We can do some breath work, just a little bit. If our friend Ashutosh is trying to get to sleep, we'll see if we can help. Yes, salting roads. You guys had a pretty bad winter last year, didn't you? They said someone is out gritting. So ultimately, if you keep coming back to, I don't know what anything's for, you can't be wrong. The reason I thought about that was because sometimes, like showing up on James's podcast, I was like, you know what? I don't want to lead people in the wrong direction. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to offer something that is my view and might run contrary to the message that I like to get. And I realized that if I just keep returning to practice forgiveness, practice kindness, you can't go wrong. Just be consistent in the message. Hey, Stacks. Rain in Texas this morning. Thank you, Lord. Were you guys in a bit of a drought? Benny says cold, not much snow. Little snow here and there, but lots of 20 miles north and 5 miles inland. You guys been having a lot of windstorms lately, right? Ashita says I live in one of the hottest places in Justin. Did I get that pronunciation even remotely correctly? How hot is it? Sorry. My cat is hooked on my arm. She reached all the way up to drag me down. There's a lesson in there, guys. If you can't aspire to the highest human position, just latch on to someone and drag them down to your level. That's what my cat just taught me right now. Hey, Sex says, Yogi, have you ever given your testimony here, brother? No, not really. What do you mean by testimony? Ellie says, Yogi, do you know how Mark and Joe are doing? Can you contact them, please? Let them know I'm thinking about them. I can't contact them. I have heard that the last I heard, Joe had the baby. They were in a facility that cared specifically for prematures. Little boy, 3.3 pounds, 5 ounces. Tiny, but with a huge heart ready to be filled with love. Let's see. Hey, Becca. Becca, how are you, my friend? What's up? Says Eric. I'm sorry, excuse me, I didn't hear you well about Dove Fishman. He would always return to, this is after almost 50 years of practicing. He said by like 30 years in or so, his mantra became less than 25. I'll bring that up in a minute. Oh, I have pretty much tasted that. Not all of it, but I've laid the big things out there. I've told people about my lost decade plus of drinking. I like to call on my extended teenage years that lasted way too long. And how I quit drinking, which was pretty miraculous when I think about it. Always winning in Scotland. 6 goes out in 4 days, but short shifts as nurse certified. How's everyone doing, Maddie? How's Chloe? How's Jordy? How are the kids? I'll be live in Tractor in 50 minutes. Awesome. We will send people over to hang out with you. I haven't had the good fortune of hanging out with you in the tractor yet, and I hope to make it today. Becca says, all bless. Yeah, I'm so glad everything was fine with them. I hope the baby Joe and Mark are going to recover quickly. I hope so too. Like I said, honestly, I'm really good. Thank you. Hope you're well. Thank you, Becca. I'm glad that you're doing well. How's the hedgehog? Yep, I'm 6 years old. Hey, Sack. Some might like to say 60 years young, but they don't have my left knee and my lower back and my bum shoulder and my hairline and my gray beard that refuses to cooperate with me. But hey, overall, I'm still doing pretty good. Maddie says, "You're all good. Thank you. I don't really watch chat as much in a work vehicle and against policy. Lots of turning gears and changing and working grid a computer all the time, all at the same time. Got you. High skill. Not to mention, you're very often the first one out on a really bad road. And knowledge. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you throwing that in. Becca says the hedgehog is good. I think he's getting big. I've been feeding him for the winter. Nice. What do you feed a hedgehog? Hey, Sniper. Sniper, how was work? Somebody, Willie, how are you, friend? It's been a little bit. It's good you're getting some sleep, Ashutosh. Good luck in your exams tomorrow. Hey, Sissy. He loves cat biscuits. Who would have thought? Maddie's sending some love to Sissy and to Becca, who's sending love right back. Let me bring up lesson 25. And I'm going to read, actually, before I bring up lesson 25, I'm going to reread something. We read it every couple of weeks. It's been maybe probably well over a month. And I always tell people, this is it. This is what we practice. This is what this is what my channel's about. This is what I want my channel to be about. Whether or not I'm successful, this is on the Scottish Poetry Foundation. Every time I bring it up, I think of our friend Maddie, who has the soul and the pen of a poet. So this is from Galway Canal, in my opinion, one of the best American poets. Beautiful words. I really hope the words, I hope I can do it justice. I hope the words sink in. This is why you are here. The bud stands for all things, even for those things that don't flower. For everything flowers from within, of self-blessing, through sometimes it is necessary to reteach a thing its loveliness, to put a hand on the brow of the flower, and retell it in words and in touch, it is lovely. Until it flowers again from within of self-blessing, as St. Francis put his hand on the creased forehead of the sow, and told her in words and in touch blessings of earth on the sow. And the sow began to remember all down her thick length, from the earth and snout all through, all the way through the fodder and the slop to the spiritual curl of the tail, from the hard spininess spiked out from the spine, down through the great broken heart to the sheer bulk, milken dreaminess spurting and shuddering from the 14 teats into the 14 mouths sucking and blowing beneath them. The long, perfect loveliness of Sal. Hey, Marlon. The key things for us to focus on. Sometimes it is necessary to reteach a thing its loveliness. To put a hand on the brow of the flower and retell it in words and in touch, it is lovely. Let's start with ourselves. We've forgotten our own loveliness. We believe what the world tells us. We believe what neighbors, friends, enemies, trolls. Can you imagine every once in a while I get a troll show up in my live stream and tells me that I'm bald? Obviously, I'm not. It's plain. It's just very, very fine hair. It's there. Someone always wants to remind you of what they think or wish you wore. The reason they do that isn't because they have any idea of who you are. It's because they believe who they are, unfortunately, sadly, and they're projecting it outwards. In order to see you a certain way, it means they don't have to, at least for an instant, they don't have to see themselves a certain way. But we're not here to do that. We wouldn't be having that conversation if that was so. We are here to retell each other our own loveliness. We are here to reteach someone else's loveliness. Every single one of you in the chat. To put our hands on the forehead of our friends and even our enemies and tell them in words and in touch the blessings of earth. Sometimes it is necessary to, let me go back to the very beginning. Everything flowers from within of self-blessing. Sometimes it is necessary to reteach a thing its loveliness. I might love that poem more than anything that's ever been written in the English language. Maybe. Really appreciate you guys being here. Believe it or not, you guys have retaught me my own loveliness just by being here. Just by being here. Just by being my friend. Hey, Selina. You know what? I still haven't read anything about Dick Cheney passing away. Nice to see you, my friend. Just concluded. Dick caused so many funerals. He certainly did, my friend. He certainly did. And for profit. And for zealousy. Zealousy. Am I pronouncing that right? Zealousy? How are you, Selina? Mustafa says, Eric, do you own a book by Vicky Poppy? I don't. I do with Krina Zupko. I own her book from. I don't own anything. Vicky doesn't have a book, to my knowledge. Karen does have books. They're available. If you go to last night's live stream, you'll see links for her books. They're all available on Amazon. And Corinne only has one, but she has a wonderful ebook that's free. If you Google her up, Corinne Zupko, she also has video series for free on how to tune into the clairs. Those seemingly extra sensory. She'll be up tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to her. I got a guest on Saturday, a guest on Sunday. But then we're going to see what happens for next week. I believe I might have an addiction specialist who specializes in non duality therapy. As a matter of fact, my guest for Sunday, let me read a little bit about her. Craniosacral, Sissy, do you think about this? Craniosacral non dual body mind therapies. It's a big title. Imagine if you were the receptionist at that office and you answer the phone saying, "Good afternoon, this is craniosacral non dual body mind therapies. May I help you?" I'd probably get another job. Hey, Dove Fishman has a wonderful little book. You can get it on Kindle for under $3. Uh, Becca says, "I'm here to learn. That's all." That's what you think. You're also here to teach, and you teach by your kindness, Becca. You teach by your kindness. The fact that you spend time feeding a little hedgehog, fattening up a little, not so little hedgehog, um, for the winter, the pure kindness of what you're doing, you're teaching everyone. Just you telling that story, just you showing up, just you being Becca Bill. I don't know if we realize that. We teach what we most need to learn. And when you show up here and you offer that kindness, it's huge. We always think we got to do big things to change the world, but big changes happen by small actions. One little act of kindness, one little cat biscuit to a hedgehog literally changes the world. Ask Sniper next Tuesday. I might interrupt the stream, but throw out the butterfly effect. Words are not flowing with me today. So if a twitch of a butterfly's wing can, in Kansas, trigger a windstorm in Indonesia, what can you imagine feeding a cat biscuit to a hedgehog would do? Amazing stuff. I promise you, amazing stuff. What is your favorite in all languages? It's certainly not English, as you can tell. I speak fluent mumbles. I'm a master at mumbling. You're probably saying, "What did he just say?" And it proves my point. um, let's see, where were we? Zealousness. Thank you, Coco. I have a challenge for you, Coco. Come on up on the live stream and say it real fast 3 times. Say it real fast 6 times. You'd probably nail it. You'd probably do it in song, and you would sound wonderfully lovely as you did it. Venom says 3. Wow, that's rare. It is rare. It's a 6 series of videos, all teaching you how to tune into your higher senses. And the book does the same thing. Absolutely for free. What's up, says Eric? What about the Kenneth Stevens? Does Stephen have any books written by him? He does not have any books written by him yet. He's a good guy, though. He's going to come up again. You're welcome, Becca. Coco's laughing. Sissy says, "I missed you too, Becca." We all have. But people leave. That doesn't mean they're gone. That does not mean they're gone. Becca was never gone. We know Becca's heart. So when you know someone's heart, they're always here. Mike says, "What's this channel about?" If I can ask. It's a good question, Mike. I don't rightly know. it's about being kind to each other. It's about talking about forgiveness, practicing forgiveness. We do talk about yoga, meditation, breath work. We talk about other modalities of spiritual practice. We have fun. Sometimes we sing. We have a in-house hedgehog specialist who will answer any questions on how to help a hedgehog gain the proper amount of weight and not an ounce more to get through the winter. Because if they gain an ounce more, then when bikini season comes along, it's just a mess. Their self-consciousness plummets to a low. They look at themselves in the mirror, they're pinching their sides, they're like, man, I'm never going to lose this weight by beach season. I've been there, I've seen it. I have counseled many hedgehogs. And Simple says, next week's Esoteric Lounge will be a breakdown of the mystic teachings of how Jesus explains those that have pure spirit can escape the reincarnation that the merge created as a energy cycle system. So, are we thinking of a Gnostic Jesus? Hey, Lady Sky, how's Texas? Have you been line dancing yet? Have you bought a 10-gallon hat yet? Do you got spurs? Have you been on the mechanical bull? Have you been in Lily's? Have you eaten barbecue? Did you buy a pickup truck with a gun rack? I have questions for you, Lady Sky. I have many questions for you. Are you a Cowboys fan now? Did you go to the Tom Landry statue? Did you read Lonesome Dove? Have you sung the song Yellow Rose of Texas? Have you asked how come they couldn't afford one more star? That one might have flown by because, Texas, the Lone Star State. What's up, says Eric? I hope to see you one day on a television station with the most beautiful and famous live broadcast in the country. Thank you, Mustafa. This is it. Thank you, Marlon, about being kind. Yes, you nailed it, my friend. This is it, Mustafa. This is my one stop. This is what I want to do. I don't want to do anything but show up here as often as possible. I don't know if it's always going to be 7 days a week, 3 times a day. I want to show up here. I want to talk to wonderful people. Every single one of you are the wonderful people that I want to talk to. I want to have guests that you can ask questions to. Mike says, is in Texas, that was different. Yes. Very often I am different. Awesome. You earned my sub. I appreciate that. Sounds like a group of inquisitive people, eager to learn. I love it. Yep, you nailed it. Kat says, we missed you, Becca. We sure did. So Mike's in Texas, huh? So Mike, probably 90% of everything out of my mouth is hopefully I can help someone laugh or I can help someone feel better. Mike says, yeah, and I make stuff. I like channels that tell you in the title name exactly what they are. Like originally, my channel was just a yogi doing burpees in his basement because I was just a yogi doing burpees in my basement and occasionally outside. Medic says Eric is definitely unique. Those are the kindest words Medic has ever said about me. Mustafa says, you deserve it, Eric. I just, I tell this to a few people. I want to slide into my, I don't know. I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing right now. If someone were asked me to define it, I would be at a loss to put a definition on it, except showing up. Secret Book of John. You ever think about covering some of the other Gnostic texts? I'd love to get into the Gospel of Mary. Even more so than the Gospel of St. Thomas. Hey, Mike, what kind of stuff do you make? Let's bring up your channel. Let's give Mike a shout out. Mike was kind enough to come in, uh, ask a polite question, and spend some time to listen to it. I appreciate that, Mike. Mike, I am subscribed to you as well. I love people who build things. So this is Mike's. Mike is making stuff. I build things: tables, chairs, lamps, shelves, machines, toys, and sometimes dreams and people. I love that. I also fix things, break things. I break things too, and explain how to make them better. This channel all about do-it-yourself repair, tools, tips, workshop wisdom. Whether you're into lathe. Which way is that, Mike? Conversion, mechanical hacks, or just watching someone wrestle a busted router, lift into submission. We focus on real-world utility, hands-on problem solving, and teachable moments that empower makers of all skill levels. No gatekeeping, no jargon, no real projects, just problems and real solutions. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Kat, that sounds like a channel you would enjoy. Guys, I hope you reach out and sub to our friend Mike. How long have you had a channel for, Mike? Well, how long have you been posting stuff? If you go to his videos, restoring a broken jewelry box, let's see, a coffin candy tray. "18 minutes and he will end your fear of table saws." Hey, Jonathan. Jonathan, how are you, my friend? School says, okay, book a Mary for next week. Sissy says, answering the call for soul's purposes, Yogi, and doing a damn good job of it. Thank you, Sissy. Sissy, I appreciate that. Hey, Sissy, I wanted to ask you, do you know anyone who does angel cards? Marlon says, going live myself, but got you in my pocket, playing on headphones. Thank you. Hey, what are you going to do live, Marlon? You going to work out? Mike says, I teach repairs, repurposing trash to treasure. I love that. Fighting plan obsolescence and feeding corporate. Man, that's an awesome description. How do I screen my guests on my live talks? I say, hey, you want to come up and have a conversation with me? And if they say yes, they're in. If I say no, I say, oh, come on, man, please. And then usually they still say no. That's my screening process. Hey, this guy says, no riding a mechanical bull. Yogi, no line dancing. I'm in Houston, Texas currently. Is there still such a thing as the Houston Oilers, or have they moved? The reason I remember the Houston Oilers is because I remember Hugh Campbell, favorite running back in my having even a remote interest in football days, which was never very big, but I loved particular players who were just outstanding at what they did. And Hugh Campbell was outstanding, the human bowling ball. I saw a photo of him, his weightlifting belt. He could put the same notch on his weightlifting belt around his waist as around his thighs. So his thighs and his waist were the same size. That's why he was impossible to tackle. Look at Mary. Awesome, Sniper. Medic says, I used to be in repairing people. People are repair resistant, Medic. But I know, oh, now it occurred to me, when you were a medic. Gotcha. I should have put that first. You know what though? I still think you do that, medic. Just in a different way. You're a good guy. But 10 for months now. Wow, and you're already at 1.33 subscribers. And you're monetized. Well done, my friend. Guys, make sure that you subscribe. So, Mike, normally people hang out for a bit before we mod them up. But if you want to reach out to people, let me mod you up. No responsibility. I hope you don't think of it as, well, great. Now I got to keep people online. All you have to do is if you feel moved to reach out to someone, if you're interested in their channel, if you want to reach out and see if they reach back to you, all fine. Use the mod to help build your channel. Best way to build your channel is to help others build their channel too. Hey, Parajat, how are you? Just need some food, so might as well go live. Hey, Fred. Oh, Tennessee Titans now. That is Lady Sky's team. Becca says, much love, Yogi. See you soon. Becca, thank you so much for being here. Made my day. Our good friend Becca. Fred says, if you're new to the channel, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Thank you, Fred. Fred is always full of support. Mike says, comment and I will sub to you, everyone. Medics are the ultimate repairman, biomechanical engineer and all. Amen to that. I have had medics show up at my house as a caregiver more than once. Jonathan, you have a good day too, my friend. Latest guy says Houston Oilers is now the Tennessee Titans team. They moved to Nashville. How long ago have you had that franchise? Like I recently discovered that Jacksonville had a team. Why does Florida need so many teams? I didn't know North Carolina had a team. I didn't know that Washington had went to no name to now the Commanders or the Commandos or the Commandments. Something like that. Begins with a C, conveyor belts, the Washington conveyor belts, something like that. And how I'm 20 miles away from Washington, D.C. Since he said they had an Angel Terror deck, but loaned it to my husband's daughter-in-law, I don't anticipate getting it back. There are numerous Oracle decks, but I can't think of a single author better than the other. I'm looking for someone. I want to do something different. Don't want to step on any toes. Lucy is building her channel and doing it successfully and beautifully. So I don't want to inconvenience her at all. She's on a mission, and I would love to help her with her mission in any way. I'm interested in someone who might want to do like angel readings once a month. Hey, Mary. Hello, Yogi. Hope you're doing well, man. Just popping in to say hi, maybe send a few subscribers to my channel. I hope we can send some few subscribers, or maybe more. Is anyone here not subscribed to Mary? Mary Grimm, guys, new lyrical rap hip hop artist, sick lyrics, awesome beats. Yeah. No, I don't really need anything. So head on over, man. Let's support our friends. Let's support Mary. Let's support Mike. Mike says, you're quite kind. Thanks. Prajat says, hey, Yogi, a quick question. Is art an illusion? Yes, but it's a wonderful, beautiful illusion. It is, we could call it a pointer. Pointer are illusions. Prajat, you're probably familiar with the thorns parable from Ramana Maharshi. Prajat says, art can mask reality, reveal it, distort it, or heighten it, often all at once. I would agree. I would agree. Thank you, Dolly. Kat says, no worries about Yogi knows how to help you get those cards. I bet you I will, for sure. Hey, Ducky. Hey, you know, Doreen Virtue is taking a weird turn, sissy. Kat, I talked to you about Doreen Virtue. Doreen Virtue was one of the original narrators of The Disappearing Universe. And she had wonderful angel cards. She's written several books on angels. She's written about uh, some esoteric practices. Some might say she was, you know, more like New Age-ish, maybe, which is fine. But the Commanders were Washington, D.C. We had this debate, this discussion the other day. Who here's a football fan? I have to take you at your word because you're a football fan and I'm not. Um, so anyway, as I was saying, Mary Grimm, music, Mike is making stuff is literally Mike is making stuff. We can hop on in and help each other out, guys. Um, so yeah, but Doreen Virtue actually decided that all of that stuff was not just what she no longer wanted to do, but that it was evil. That A Course in Miracles, evil. That tarot cards, angel cards, evil. All of it. She became a very, very uh, strict evangelical, I guess. Ducky, how are you, my friend? Mike is making stuff. Says Ducky. Well, nice to know you guys are connected. Mike says they gave up when the Raiders left LA. Yeah, they went from Oakland back in my day to LA. They'll always be the Oakland Raiders. And now they're what? Now they're in where are they? Omaha? Omaha? Iowa somewhere? Floating around Iowa? I have no clue. Yes, and they are now the worst team ever, Yogi. I don't know. The New Orleans Saints. Is there still New Orleans Saints? Uh, they were pretty bad one year. People wore paper bags over their head to go with eyes cut out to go to the games, and they had shirts that made the New Orleans Eights. Chris says, "You're funny." The commandments. Thank you again, Dolly. Latest guy says, formerly known as the Washington Redskins, now they are the Commanders. But the Washington Redskins were Washington D.C. So if it's Washington Redskins, now the Commanders, then that would be Washington D.C. Because I've never been to a Redskins game, but I've been to their stadium to go to Grateful Dead shows. Hey, Joe. Joe, how are you, my friend? I appreciate you saying hi, stopping in to say hi. Hey, Kat, you still here hanging out? Do you know anything about craniosacral non-dual body-mind therapies? Because we have a guest. She does non-dual body-mind therapies. She has a school, the Jewel School, and of course, Miracles Mentoring, which is awesome. Somato Emotional Release. Pretty cool. She's going to be up Sunday at 1 o'clock. I was directed by a good friend and mentor to not just bring up the big name people, but to just look for those average, everyday people, me, Kat, who are practicing A Course in Miracles or other practices, um, very sincere in their practice. They're only trying to get through the day as kind as possible. They're working on their forgiveness projects. Joe, I appreciate you stopping in. Hey, Bloom. Kat says, I am and I know nothing. Oh, I still haven't read that. Lesson 25. Ali says, Kat, I love you so much. So much. First says, if you're enjoying the stream, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Thank you, Fred. By the way, guys, if you head on over to the Institute of Advanced Astonishment, you can check out my podcast appearance. James Plath, a modern day mystic philosopher. He's a kind hearted, loving man. Had me up in the guest. Man, he grilled me pretty tough, pretty tough. Put me on the spot. Metaphorically poked me in the chest and said, prove it. Show me what you got. I folded under pressure, guys. I cried. It's a whole big thing. You can see it. It's all on air. Hey, Pop Tarts, Pop Tarts. I heard you say, I forget where I heard you say it. I think it might have been on Daisy's. Maybe it was on Chris's. That you were having a hard time getting those 50 to stick, but you're at 55 now. Have you hit the go live stream button yet? I'm glad you're sticking at 55. Zephyr says, to the best of their abilities. Amen to that. That's all we're meant to do. Lee says, Ali, you okay? Keep doing your lives. We all have a blast there. Fred says, don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you, Fred. Pop Tart says, Tim Horton coffee and Pop Tarts for all. I appreciate that. The times I've been to Canada, I've really enjoyed Tim Hortons. Tom Hortons. Tim Hortons. Sniper says, it was a great interrogation. Thank you, Sniper. Kat said, message retracted. Retracted. Is retracted a word? Should be. I have found there's very few words that cannot be improved with an extra S thrown in randomly. Pop Tart says, lots of subs, lost tons of subs overnight again. But you're over 55. I saw you having phone issues. Hey, Nino. Nino, how are you, my friend? Pop Tart says, hit the like button. Thank you, my friend. Fred, I appreciate everything you do too. I just like the coffee. I like the fact that you can go to Tim Hortons and you can get coffee, you can get a sandwich, you can get like an actual prepared meal with your coffee. You can get an oil change, you can get a haircut, you can get your taxes done, you can get your shoes shined, you can get your shoes repaired. You can buy a backpack, you can buy a Sunday hat, you could buy a prom dress, you can buy that little plastic tips that go on the end of your shoes. All at Tom Hortons. It's amazing. It's an amazing place. I get all my spatulas, and you guys, you know how I love spatulas. I've gotten all my spatulas from Tom Hortons in Canada. I cross the border. I sneak in across the border. No ID. Back of a truck. I jump off the back of the truck, duck and roll all the way. I continuously duck and roll until I hit, and we're talking over tundra, because you know, Canada, it's all tundra. Dodging pine trees, dodging wolverines, jumping over, ducking and rolling over grizzly bears and polar bears until I get to the nearest Tom Hortons. And then I repeat the process. I get the spatulas, I repeat the process all the way back. Dolly says we need to even remember to offer ourselves forgiveness. Yes, all forgiveness. Excuse me, guys. Um, sorry. Um, where was it? Oh, forgiveness. All forgiveness is ultimately self forgiveness, because true forgiveness is looking at the Christ within another so that we can recognize the Christ within ourselves. Over 50 kinds, over 55 because I've been at it again all morning. I hope these stick. They deserve to stick. You're a good guy, Pop Tarts. I always appreciate you being here. Hey, Stitch. Stitch, how are you? We have good food and other things. Mike says, I warn. I do not share the opinion of expletives being wrong. Example, I can say, I am angry. That means one thing. I can say, I am pissed, and that adds gravitas. You got to have gravitas. I don't think I possess gravitas. Three gates. Did I bump into a gate, Sniper? Wait, which gate did I bump into? I guess the first one, right? Is it true? Poptar says Tim Horton, not Tom. Gotcha. Love and forgiveness. That's the theme. It's the only thing we have to do. Stitch, what's going on, Stitch? Sniper says just the duck and cover through the tundra. I do. So maybe I bumped up against the gate. Maybe I stubbed my toe on the gate. Just a little bit. Like sometimes you just gotta leak it all out. Sometimes you do. Joe is sending you prayers, Stitch. Stitch, we're all sending you prayers. We love you, my friend. Pop Tart says, Bloom subbed and commented. Thanks. Hey, Pop Tart. So you and Mike are already connected. Jonathan, how you doing? Stephen says, Mike, when soaring with intent in any of the emotional states, the receptive wakes suddenly from the dream state just for a second or two. Hey guys, if you happen to see Odom's homestead, today's his birthday. Send him a big happy birthday. Uh, Sometimes Odom watches from his office. Odom, if you're here, happy birthday, my friend. We love you. If you pop in to say hi, we will definitely sing you happy birthday. Popdog says, Mike is making stuff. Sub and commented, thanks. That's how you do it, guys. That's how you build your channel, one sub at a time. Small actions repeated. Dahlia says, remember when we are upset, it's to set up. That's what she told us. Love to hear more about that, Dolly. It says, I just missed my great grandmother. I'm a failure. Nobody understands how hard I work in school. My mom wants me to do school when I'm on break, but I'm not going to. My brain hurts. Well, I understand about missing your grandmother, my friend. Remember, though, when we feel that feeling of missing, uh, all we have to do is remember to open up because those that we love are always near, always near. No one truly passes away. They might pass form, they might go from what we can see, but they never go from what we sense. You can open up to the presence of your grandmother at any time. And as far as being a failure, you are not a failure. You are full of love. You're one of the kindest people that I know. You're definitely one of the kindest people that's ever come on my channel. And we absolutely love you. You went to work for me. You earned me money. Our friend Stitch, she hooked up with Duncan. Duncan Walsh Fitness Motivation, now Duncan Walsh Over 40 Fitness. And Stitch had wanted to lose some weight. She wanted to get in shape. And Duncan said, Stitch, if you do this with your diet and if you work out, he said, if you do the diet, I will pay Eric $100. Imagine that. And then he said, and if you do these workouts for every workout you do, how much did he say he'd pay me for every workout? And Stitch, when it came down to helping out a friend, she was all in. She didn't hesitate. And she showed up and she did it all. And Duncan paid. That month, I earned an extra $130 because of our friend Stitch. Because of the hard work and the kindness of Stitch and the kindness of our friend Duncan. Does that sound like a failure to you guys? To me, that sounds like a kind hearted, loving, committed, hard working person. Mike says to Sniper, I don't usually subscribe to many arbitrary concepts. Restricted behavior. The rule is simple: harm no one, leave things better than you found it. The rest is theater, in my opinion. You're a man after my own heart, Mike. I am repeatedly, I keep saying, return back to the practice. Hey, Stinkbug. Stinkbug, how are you, my friend? Let me know if your grandmother's here. Pop Tart has subbed to Cat and Jack. Super says, Mike agreed. It's all an experience. So most will be assumptions. So once you see through that, clearer skies. 50 or 20. I think it might have been 20. All I know is that you went to work and you worked hard and you did it because you're a kind person. Mike says, best friend died about 10 years ago, and I don't grieve. I speak to him in my mind almost every day. His essence lives in my neurons, nested in all the things and all I learned from him. Weird take, I know. Not weird at all. The great Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh said something similar, that when his mother died, he grieved at first, and then he realized that every single cell, every molecule that had made up his mother now exists as a flower, as the tip of a leaf on an oak tree, as every little aspect of nature. They're present. All he had to do, he could see his mother, the lineage, in the palm of his hand. He just had to look. Before, he never looked because he never had to look. His mother was right there. But when someone seems to pass away, now we got to look in the right spot. Look for our loved ones in the little things. I'm surrounded by them. I'm in the house that I grew up in. And like Mike said, my father, always present, always present. Sick book says, sit your high roll over here. Sick book says, I may be giving out money, but not that much. You give out a lot of time and attention, though, Stinkbug. You're a good friend. Hey, Shelly. Shelly, are you home? Such sense of floating heart. Thank you. Just like I was saying. Hey, Chef Mary, how are you? Paragraph says, hey, Yogi, what are your thoughts about William Blake? I loved William Blake. His wife, she was asked what it was like being married to William Blake, and she sighed and said, I am not married to William Blake. He is only married to the angels that he listens to. William Blake literally heard the song of the angels and put them into words. He was someone who had those doors of perception cleansed very, very well. Thanks for making these connections, guys. Let's see. Miss Joan is getting her hair done. If you go pick her up, tell her that we said hi. Jeff Mary says that she is good. I'm glad to hear it. Pop Tart says sub to Shelly. Mike says I'm an aspiring Taoist myself. I love Taoism. Once a year, I dive into the Tao Te Ching all over again. Sometimes I read it. We did all 81 chapters last fall. So just about a year on my 5 a.m. live streams. I love the simplicity of the Tao. Although even that, they've tried to complicate it. It always amused me that Lao Tzu starts with the Tao that can be told isn't the true Tao, and then he spent 81 chapters describing the Tao. Top Dog says, Chef Mary, can you make a wicked baked Alaska? You know, all my life I've heard baked Alaska. I don't know what it actually is. I heard you mention yesterday that your grandmother had a twin sister. They get together every month. That's awesome. Mike says, funniest thing, the Tao of Pooh is an incredible interpretation, actually. It is. I have where my copy of the Tao of Pooh is. Might have been lent out, but I know exactly where my copy of the D of Piglet is, the sequel to it. Stinkbook says, I'm just glad she's up and moving again. Me too. I know that was weighing heavy on you. Ice cream baked in a cake. How do you bake ice cream in a cake? Sissy says, in a sense, it can't be told or taught. It must be experienced. Pointers. So, I had asked our friend Perjat if he remembered that I guess it's an allegory that Ramana Maharshi offered about the thorn in the palm. That Ramana Maharshi said that teachings like the Tao, a pointer. Pointer is never the thing, but very often we confuse the pointer for the thing itself. Jesus was pointing at something, and we made a religion based upon Jesus pointing, and we missed the thing entirely. Lao Tzu was pointing at something. Fortunately, Taoism escaped the extremism of other religions, because Taoism is less of a religion. It's not even really a philosophy. As Sissy said, it is the isness, the thingness. Sickbook says she's my best friend, man. Same with me and my father. So a thorn is a pointer, a thorn in the palm, but we take another thorn to use it to remove that first thorn. But then we don't need both of them. We throw them away. This is why they say when you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him. Don't make it into a religion. Don't make it into a thing. Don't turn Buddha into a deity. We've done the same thing with the crucifixion. The crucifixion is not the lesson. Course in Miracles says the only lesson of the crucifixion is that we will all survive our moment on the cross, or the other way around. Yes, Mike says it's like a finger pointing to the moon. Pay no attention to the finger, or you miss all the heavenly glow. Perfectly said. The Tao Te Ching, Philosophy of Winnie the Pooh. It's a wonderful book. Hey, Share Bear. Share Bear, how are you? How often do we have Sniper? How often do we have someone come in and remind us, Jesus died for your sins? And why do they think that? Why do they believe it so deeply? Has anyone ever had the experience of Jesus dying for their sins? However, all of us can have the experience of offering someone, all of us have had the direct experience of crucifying someone with our thoughts, with our actions, with our behaviors. All of us have had the experience of feeling as if we've been crucified by the thoughts, by the actions, by the beliefs of others. However, conversely, we can also offer others the resurrection. We can allow everyone a moment of rebirth in our eyes and heart. Every single person. We can see them anew. That's forgiveness. Also, all of us have been given that moment of resurrection when someone saw us as if for the first time. I've had that experience with someone that I love when I have been talking to them, and both of us sort of fell into a silence and were looking in each other's eyes, and tears started coming out just because it was such a beautiful moment. Nothing had to be said until I probably made a joke. Because it's intense. It's intense when that happens. Sickbook says, my grandma is here, and I'll let him listen for a minute. I'm going to make a delivery in a minute, seasonal cookies, working 65 hours a week now, including YouTube. Wow. Hey, by the way, Stinkbug Deity is told me he's hoping to make YouTube his full-time job, his full-time gig. So if we can help him out, if anyone here is not subscribed to our friend Stinkbug, please do. Stinkbug, if we can help you anyway, just let us know. Mike says, I love this. I believe all religions have it right, but only parts. I can elaborate if anyone wants. Always happy to hear. Um, so we've never had anyone come in and say, Jesus resurrected for you. Jesus rose from the dead for you. It's always about the death. It's always about the suffering. It's never about the joy of the resurrection. But that's the lesson of Easter. Easter isn't, we don't celebrate Good Friday. It's not Good Friday Day. We don't have a holiday of Good Friday. It's Easter. It's the resurrection. Sniper says, courage to become errant, to leave the predictable flow of mundane life and limited consensus reality, thereby going against its grain to find a higher self-discovered truth. Beautifully said. President says, if a thorn gets stuck in your palm, you may use another thorn to pull it out. After the first thorn is removed, throw both thorns away. Yes, that is one of my favorites for sure. Mike says, leaders climb a mountain and draw a map. The map differs from the map someone else drew from a different place. Instead of arguing whose map is right, put them side by side, your map grows. I love it. It's like they say in NLP, neuro linguistic programming, the map is not the territory. The Bible isn't the thing. Practicing the love of Jesus is the thing. The Tao isn't the thing. So Wayne Dyer used to always say, don't be a Taoist, follow the Tao. Don't be a Buddhist, be a Buddha. Don't be a Christian, be a Christ. Prajat says the first thorn equals the mind. The mind created the sense of I am the body, I am the doer, and all of the thoughts that cause suffering. Second thorn equals the practice of inquiry. Who am I? You have a focus, introspective moment of mind to dismantle that deeper illusion created by the mind. It is a paradox. The mind is both. That's like the Zen koan of, and Sniper used this on one of his lounge conversations. The flag. Is the flag moving in the wind? Sigwick says not bringing it back here, but I'm sorry I couldn't help more with whatever happened yesterday. That's okay, Sinkbug. That's all right. I took care of it. After you reached out and then Heavenly Star sent me an email, I thought it was definitely something I had to do. So I appreciate it, Sinkbug. Prajat says after the false I is removed, the tool is no longer needed. Once the root thought I am the individual self is dissolved, no further mental practice is necessary. Just as you don't keep the thorn. I often wondered, and I talked to James about this yesterday, the need to practice. Sinkbook says he would like to hear you talk about Jesus for a minute. Well, all I can offer is my perspective. You know, going back to my conversation with James yesterday morning, actually. I talked about how I had a hard time relating to the strict Jesus figure that I grew up with, Catholic school. Jesus was very stern as presented to me. But I didn't think he should have been. But that was just the way they kept telling me. Do this for Jesus, practice this for Jesus, think about this for Jesus. Or if you don't accept Jesus as your personal savior, then there was horrible consequences to follow. Yet somewhere in my heart, I just didn't think that was right. How could someone who talked of love so lovingly say that if you don't believe in me, if you don't do this, if you don't accept me, if you don't drink of my blood and eat of my body, you will go to hell? Did not sound like Jesus. It sounded like people using Jesus to control. I was just a kid. What did I know? But what I did know was that I related very much to Mother Mary, who was this loving, divine figure, welcoming. So I gravitated very much towards that. Now, later in A Course in Miracles, when I got very irreligious, meaning I no longer practiced religion or even thought about religion, but I had some very deep spiritual practices. I developed a very meaningful relationship with Jesus. The Course says we use Jesus as a symbol of the right mind. Jesus lives as that right part of our mind that is always telling us to love, always telling us to forgive. And what greater example of forgiveness than Jesus on the cross? Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. Jesus offering forgiveness so the resurrection would happen. Needed that dramatic presentation. We wouldn't have believed it otherwise. So we can all develop our own relationship as Jesus as that symbol of our greatest love. The thing is that we have to have a daily conversation, a moment-to-moment conversation. Jesus can be a personification of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the voice for God, not the voice of God, the voice for God. That's a key distinction. A voice of God is going to issue commandments, is going to issue orders, is going to be very strict, it's going to be a disciplinarian. We have all kinds of people who are saying they are the voice of God. We have politicians who believe they are the voice of God. We have priests and preachers and reverends. We have authors, game show hosts. We have all kinds of people who are the voice of God, and they all tell us things. The voice for God, that's that still silent voice. That is the be still and know that I am. Hey, Cassandra, how are you? Mike says, the most elegant discussion of God comes from the Tao. If it were meant to know, I would know. If the time comes for me to know, I will. Beautiful. I won't waste time trying to understand something I'm not meant to know. I love all things about the Tao, Bhagavad Gita, very much so, and A Course in Miracles. And A Course in Miracles, they say it's very similar to the Tao Te Ching. We say God is and then fall silent because anything that is said afterwards is a description of a description, or as the Course says, a symbol twice removed, a symbol of a symbol twice removed. It says it is either the flag that moves or the wind that moves, the movement of your mind. Cassandra, I hope you're having a good day too. Hey, Duncan, we were talking about you, my friend. Asked me where you from. Said you were a smart man. I was born in Pennsylvania, but I've grown up in Maryland, in between Baltimore and DC. Beautiful, beautiful town, Columbia, Maryland. Hey, Parajat, are you on Facebook by any chance? There was a great discussion on Ramana Maharshi and how he relates to A Course in Miracles, if he does. Great debate, which made me realize that I no longer want to debate with anyone about anything. It says, for me, Jesus only spoke in parables, meaning no one can tell you what's true. You have your workout. You have to work it out for yourself with what put in front of you, depending on the frequency, Kundalini, see. The practice. It's all about the practice, right? Cassandra says, hey, have you checked out any of my lives? They're posted. I'm on it, Cassandra. I got your channel up now. Oh, Kundalini, you see the illusion for exactly what they are. Mike says, all of us knew from our time as babies. There are truths. People give them names, labels. That doesn't matter. Don't hurt others. Be kind. Take care of each other. Live humbly. The rest, more theater. Sigwick says, appreciate you being so kind to my grandparents. Always, think, Bug, of course. I appreciate your kindness, my friend. Anthony DeMello was a East Indian Jesuit priest, but he retained his yogic background, his yogic lore in his teachings. He talked about as much about awakening as he did salvation. And he tells a wonderful story that when we were kids, we would look into the sky and see these magical winged creatures soaring through the air, playing on the breeze, not a care in the world. And we would marvel at what we were seeing for hours on end until one day a well-meaning adult walked by and said, oh, it's a sparrow. They gave magic a label, and it was lost. We shrugged. The next time we saw one, we shrugged and said, it's a sparrow. I saw one yesterday. Cassandra says, thanks, Yogi. Thanks. You got it, my friend, always. We're going to wrap things up for the afternoon, guys. Speaking of practice, I'm going to do my next round of breath work and my last round of meditation. We have our guest, Corinne Zupko, tomorrow. Really looking forward to her. She had to cancel last week, reschedule, but we're back on track for tomorrow. Monday, Saturday, Elizabeth Cronkite will be up. We're going to talk a bit about non-dual experiences and A Course in Miracles. Sunday, we have Julie Day coming up, and I don't know what we're going to talk about. I don't care what we're going to talk about. I just love talking about this stuff with people. I can read you a bit about Jewel. She has an advanced diploma in craniosacral therapy. She's a somatic emotional release facilitator, esoteric advanced energy healer and certified teacher, Course in Miracles mentor and ordained minister, full professional practice since 1998. She talks about embodied mind, heart, wholeness, and oneness through private sessions. Here she talks about embodiment. Embodiment actually has nothing to do with being a body. Rather, it means learning to rest our awareness in the quiet inner center deep within our one self. Timeless and whole, anchored vertically through all worlds, all dreams, as the grounded presence of pure love. The heart of oneness, it means knowing yourself entirely as spirit while we still seemingly walk in the world. So now I know exactly what I'm going to talk to her about. And looking forward to it. I bet you that Sniper and Kat and Sissy will all be interested in that esoteric advanced energy healing. All right. I reached out to her today, and like a minute later, she said, sure. Also, I think next week we're having Scott Kilby, who is going to about using. He's a very unique counselor. He's had great success with addiction, alcohol, drug, and otherwise, using self-inquiry and other non-dual modalities. I think sometimes this week, I just got a message from him now, as a matter of fact. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say. He has Killaby facilities across the country. But hopefully everyone will be able to get something. Just some more conversation. That's my hope. All right, guys, I got to head out. Love you guys. I will see everyone. Hey, Keith. Keith, how are you? Yep, I'll be back on at 5:25 here, Eastern time. That's okay, Cassandra. I appreciate you getting here. Sickbook says, Grandma home now. Do you want to say hello for a minute? Miss Joan, welcome home. I bet you your hair looks absolutely lovely. I remember how excited my mom always was to get her hair done. She would often do it at home. The smell of the stuff, the conditioner, is still fresh in my mind when I think about that, when I think about her. There's nothing like doing something to make yourself feel good. And Miss Joan, I really hope you feel good. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for having such an awesome grandson. Sinkbug's been a blessing to me and my channel. He's a good friend. He's a good man. A good man is a reflection of those who help raise him. All right, I gotta go. I love you guys. Thanks, Sniper.